is Monday, October 18th, and these are your morning announcements. Today's lunch is a beef taco with lettuce and cheese, refried beans, offerings bar, and a choice of milk. At 10:21 is parent-teacher conferences. Make sure you have all your work in so that your teacher can say only good things about you. Thursday will also be a half a day. If you go out to eat, make sure we are doing it the right thing. Mr. Green doesn't want any bad reports.
Hey, mystery puzzle recap right now. First off, the correct answer was House C. House C. A lot of people put House D. Even have first put down House E, but it was House C that is correct. So the current standings is, again, the greenhouse is really in the lead right now. Not by a lot, just by a point. And honestly, all the other houses are close behind.
Lunchtime, come on in. Lunchtime, sit on down. Lunchtime, eat some food. What are students saying at lunch?
What's gonna be for Halloween?
A banana. The Purge. Zombie wedding bride.
Make sure to capture all this.
I'm still ready. I got this. You ready?
Margaret and her brothers, Paul and David, shared a small house on top of the hill, just outside the village. It was so warm one summer night that Margaret could not sleep. She sat up in the bed in the darkness of her room, watching the moon move across the sky. Suddenly, something caught her eye. She saw two small yellow-green lights moving through the woods near the graveyard at the bottom of the hill. They looked like eyes of some animal, but she could not make out what kind of creature it was. Soon the creature left the woods and moved up the hill towards the house. For a few minutes, Margaret lost sight of it. Then she saw it coming across the lawn towards her window. It looked something like a man, and yet it didn't. Margaret was terrified. She wanted to run from her room, but the door was next to her window. She was afraid the creature would see her and break in before she could escape. When the creature turned and moved in another direction, Margaret rushed to the door. But before she could open the door, it was back. Margaret found herself staring through the window at the shrunken face, like that of a mummy. Its yellow-green eyes gleamed like a cat's eyes. She wanted to scream, but she was so frightened that she could not make a sound. The creature broke the window glass, unlocked the window, and crawled inside. Margaret tried to flee, but the creature caught her. It twisted its long, bony fingers into her hair, pulled back her head, and sank its teeth into her throat. Margaret screamed and fainted. When her brothers heard her piercing scream, they rushed to her room, but by the time they got the door unlocked, the creature had fled. Margaret lay on the floor, bleeding and unconscious, while Paul tried to stop the bleeding. David chased the creature down the hill towards the graveyard, but soon he lost sight of it. The police thought it was the work of an escaped lunatic who believed he was a vampire. When Margaret recovered, her brothers wanted to move to a safer place where it would be harder to break in, but Margaret refused. The creature would never come back, she was sure of it. But just in case, Paul and David began to keep loaded pistols in their room. One night, months later, Margaret was awakened by a scratching sound at her window. When she opened her eyes, there was the same shrunken face staring at her. That night, her brothers heard her cries in time. They chased the creatures down the hill, and David shot it in the leg. But the creatures managed to scramble over the graveyard wall and disappeared near an old burial vault. Margaret and her brothers watched as the sexton of the church opened the burial vault. Inside was a horrifying scene. Broken coffins, bones, and rotting flesh were scattered all over the floor. Only one coffin had not been disturbed. When the sexton opened, there lay the creature with the shrunken face that had attacked Margaret. The telltale bullet was in its leg. They did the only thing that they knew to get rid of them. The sexton built a roaring blaze outside the vault and fed the shrunken body to the flames. They watched the body burn until nothing remained but ashes.
Hey, and here are some public service announcements from the Wilson video crew.
Mrs. Rose posts tons of information on her Instagram accounts. Make sure to follow them.
And those are your morning announcements. Have a great day.
And now, let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.